Hey everyone, Anna here, and in this video I will be sharing some tips for when you are leading and teaching Energizers at your camp.
Hey everybody, my name is Abby and I am a regional this year.
Hi, my name is Erin and I'm going to be sharing some Energizer tips for y'all today.
I'm Riley Thornton, I'm from FCC Lufkin, and here are a couple tips that are going to help you lead an Energizer.
My name is Brooke from Mission South, and a few tips I have for Energizers is...
Hey guys, my name is Kristen and I am going to be telling you the most important thing that I have learned since teaching Energizers.
When leading an Energizer, I'd say the most important part is probably just being yourself and not being too serious. Because if you're not having a good time, they'll reflect on the campers, and then they'll be less likely to participate.
And one piece of advice I wanted to give you for how to lead an Energizer is to always have confidence when you're teaching the dance. So you don't ever be scared to ask questions about if you forget a certain part. You always have other YMCs that are going to be around to help you, or YMT, RMC, whichever one you are.
You need to come prepared. Trying to relearn the Energizer at the same time you're teaching it to a large group of people hardly ever turns out well, so make sure you know all the moves beforehand.
Always come prepared, Boy Scout motto. Just make sure you know the moves before you get up there. Ask someone, review it with them.
If you're going to lead and teach an Energizer, you need to know the dance moves or the words or all that stuff you need to teach it. If you don't know what it is, how are you going to teach it? So make sure you know the dance moves.
Make sure that before you teach the Energizer that you know all of the moves, which may seem obvious, but there have been times where people will go up in front of everybody and then they'll forget what's coming next, and it's just awkward and you kind of look like you don't know what you're doing. So make sure that you know all of the moves beforehand.
So whenever you're leading Energizers, you want everyone to have a lot of energy. But the only way that's going to happen is if you have energy first. Everyone else is going to reflect off of your energy. So the way that you want everyone else to act is how you must act first. You must be the good example.
As most of y'all know, Energizers are fun. They pump people up. They get the energy flowing. That's what Energizers are for. They're always so fun. And I personally, they're my favorite. But so when you are teaching an Energizer, you need to have that level of energy to get everyone else pumped up.
Next, you're going to want to be as loud and energetic as possible. Now, I am by no means a loud person, but an Energizer with no energy is literally just a song.
The thing is, you should never assume that everybody knows the Energizer, even if it's an Energizer you do all the time, like every time we touch or start trekking, because most of the time there's going to be a new person or a person who's just not familiar with the Energizer, so you always need to assume that you have to explain the Energizer beforehand.
Another helpful thing is to have 2 or more people up there on stage or in front with you demonstrating the dance moves. So you can talk about, oh, I'm going to do this shuffle to the right, and then have the people dance it and have them perform it and demonstrate it. So you don't have to talk and show the dance move. So that's very helpful.
Another thing that can be very helpful is to have demonstrators on stage with you. They can show how to do the moves while you explain, so you still have time to think. Also, if you forget anything, they'll help you out most times.
Next is make sure that you're speaking loudly and clearly so that everybody can hear you.
And then when starting to teach the dance, make sure everyone can hear you. Make sure that you're projecting loud enough, or you're using a microphone and you're talking loud and clearly so that everyone can understand the instructions or the dance move that you're about to talk about. That's very, very important. Because you gotta talk to that person in the very, very back of the room or hall or outside, wherever you are, You need to make sure that everyone can hear you, because most of the time everyone does know the Energizer, but there's always new people that don't know it, or it's a new one if you're going to teach a new Energizer. So just make sure you're talking loud and clearly.
Along with that, make sure that everybody is able to see you, and I find that that works best if everybody is sitting while you're teaching the Energizer, and then have them stand up to do the Energizer afterwards.
The next one is come up with some fun like names for the different dance moves, like interlude. There's like a rave, which is just like this, like sparkles. I can't do it because I'm holding the camera, but and
finally, I think it works really well if you give each movement a fun little name, because it's more easy for people to remember as you're doing it, and also you're not like saying mouthfuls of words that have to do with like the description of the movement. So for example, in one of my favorite Energizers called Interlude, there's a movement called the Sparkle, and it's basically where you flail your arms around a whole bunch, and you know, sparkle is easier than saying arm flailing. So that's something that you want to do when you're teaching an Energizer. Also, while you're doing the Energizer with everybody, make sure that you're yelling out the names of the movements as you're doing them, so that people know what's coming next.
Have fun. Everybody will just want to make sure that you're having fun so that they know that they're supposed to have fun.
Just like bring the energy, because if you don't, then they won't.
And if it's your first time leading an Energizer, you're probably gonna be a little bit nervous, but that's just okay. Just make sure you talk slowly and breathe.
Don't stress too hard. Most of our Energizers are very simple, and we're only doing them for fun anyways.
Have fun. It's an Energizer. If you make a mistake in the instructions, it's okay. I promise. I've messed up millions of times. Well, not millions, but like I've messed up too.
Yeah, just have fun, go crazy, don't break anything. But if you do, have fun doing it.
Good luck next year, y'all.
Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have all the success in teaching Energizers.
So thank you for watching, and have a great time leading your Energizers.
I hope you guys have a great time leading Energizers. It's going to be one of my most missed parts of camp, and I hope this was helpful.